What is up, everybody? Welcome to YouTuber Tournament 7, Episode 19, which is the preliminary round 2 elimination. Which means it's time to eliminate someone today. So in today's objective, again, we will be counting the polls. We will count all the votes in the polls, as we had so many votes that I actually had to pull out the calculator to figure out how many people voted for a particular person. And, we didn't really need to do that, but I did anyways because we have percentiles on YouTube. But then afterwards, we will eliminate the player with the most votes. I don't know why I put an S at the end of the word player, but it's only one player going home, not two. It's not Tournament 2. So the team up for elimination is Team Heat, as Team Heat has lost the challenge that we just did. So, without further ado, let's go over who's going to be up for elimination once again. We have Crash Inc., who's been on here for 4 years, who has been a YouTuber for at least 4 years. Blue Tea YouTube, who's also been a YouTuber for 2 years. MMD PUBGM, who's been here for 2 years as well. And then DS Elma Nia C, who is basically the elder of this team, has been on YouTube for 11 years. Now you guys casted your votes on these 4. Now let's go. Alright, so looks like expanding the amount of time for voting between YouTubers was a great idea after all, as we have picked up a new record in a number of votes, as we now have 14, which is the highest we have ever seen in any YouTuber tournament ever. As previously that record was 7, that's been broken easily by twice as much. So now the newest record for the most number of votes in not just this tournament, but all YouTuber tournaments is now 14. It's pretty insane. It's a pretty high record to hold. Well, at least for my level of YouTube. For people like Mr. Beast, it's freaking low. But you get the point. For our level, it's a pretty high amount of votes, so there's definitely going to be another new thing. All 4 contestants have a different number of votes, which means we can do first, second, third, and fourth, basically. So I've changed the format of how I show eliminations, starting with the person with the least votes, then the next least votes, and then we get to the final 2, and then do the elimination sequence. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. The first safe player is DSL Nia C. You are going to move on to the next round, as you have received the least amount of votes in the entire group. Now, I won't go over how many votes you've had until after I go through the elimination, just to keep things fresh. So you are the first safe player. The second safe player is Crash Inc., who has received the second least amount of votes in the entire group. Therefore, you will also move on to the next round as well. Now that just leaves us with 2 left. Blue Tea YouTube and MMDT PUBGM. One of you is going home and will claim the second person eliminated out of Wave 2. Now, definitely, Definitely seen some competitiveness in this tournament so far. So yeah. Alright. Now it's time to get serious. As now it's time for my duties to eliminate somebody else. We have so far eliminated 5 other people, so you pretty much know the drill. Once you're eliminated, you're not coming back. And that will be that. Alright, so with the second elimination in Wave 2, the YouTuber who has the most votes again will be going home. And this YouTuber that will be claiming, that will be the 6th YouTuber eliminated out of YouTuber Tournament 7 and will be claiming 15th place in the tournament is MMDT PUBGM.
Lo, kalah tu. Ngerinya.
Unfortunately, you have received the most votes in the entire team, which means you are eliminated out of YouTuber Tournament 7. Thank you for participating in the tournament. But the viewers said that it was time for you to say goodbye. So, again, thanks for participating in the tournament, and I hope to see you in the future as well. And that will be that. Now let's go over how the votes were distributed. Starting with the bottom, DSL and Nia C had 0 votes, so it's a perfect record for them. Not a single vote, which means they don't really need to do much improvement. Especially with a 14 user vote. Crash Inc. had only 1 vote, meaning he has slight adjustments to make, but other than that, he's pretty much doing strong despite not uploading in a while, but hopefully he uploads soon. Next up is the second most votes, Blue Tea YouTube. He had 4 votes. Now that's a little bit more significant because you dodged a bullet this time, Blue Tea, as 4 votes is still a large number of votes, even in a 14 player voting, if you distribute it between 4 people. Because on average, you want to have, like, if you were to divide it equally, well, you can't really divide 14 between all 4 equally, can you? The average would be, but if you average it, it'd be a decimal point of 3.5. You are above that number right now, which means you have some serious improvements to do if you want to survive in this tournament. And for MMDT PUBG M, who has been eliminated, had a grand total of 9 votes, which is the most ever for an eliminated contestant. I've never seen 9 different people vote out a single contestant ever until this episode. It's crazy. It's a very crazy world. 9 people. Just let that sink in real quick. 9 people. We have never had that many people vote for one user. So, take this advice. If you're MMDT PUBG M, you have a lot of improvement to do. Because most of the community has voted for you. Literally 9 of 14. Which is crazy. That's more than half of the amount of people as well. But again, hopefully you do well in the future of your career. And that is that. Alright, so moving on to tomorrow's objective as Wave 6, or not Wave 6, there's no such thing as a Wave 6 in this tournament. There's only 5 waves. I meant Cycle 6 is now officially over, which means tomorrow we will be starting Cycle 7. The 7th cycle is coming around, as well as the 7th challenge of the tournament, which will be called the Preliminary Round 3 Challenge. As all 14 who have survived just now advance to Preliminary Round 3. There are a total of 8 preliminary rounds. You have made it through a quarter of them now. You just got 6 more to go before you reach the quarterfinals, which begins in Wave 4. Half of the preliminaries in Wave 2 and the other half is in Wave 3, depending on how far you get. In the preliminary rounds is also the halfway marker of the tournament, but that halfway marker is in Wave 3. The first quarter marker has already passed as of last episode. This was just the first elimination of the second quarter of the tournament. Now, as always, after each challenge, one team will be put up for elimination. Keep in mind, 2 different teams have 3 members, while the other 2 have 4. If you are one of the members with 3 teammates, it is especially crucial that you win this next challenge. I'm talking to you, Team Heat and Team Warriors. Now, if you're Team Tide and Team Express, you still don't want to lose because you don't want to go up for elimination either, but it will be less scary for you guys because you have that 4th member to compete against it with videos. And all you need to do is be better than 1. So yeah, that's going to wrap up this episode of YouTuber Tournament 7, and I will see you guys in the 20th episode of the season.